Hi, it's Krista Giannak, Wise Words That Matter. Please let me know if there's any issue with my camera because I didn't set that up. For some reason, it pressed the button before I was actually ready for it to do so. Um, and so, yeah, this is Adventures in Blindness because we're talking about skiing today. We're talking about blind skiing. So, basically, every year in the beginning of February, I go on a ski weekend with Vermont Adaptive Ski and Sports. And I have a lot of fun. And so last year around this time, I did a blog post talking about what blind skiing and marketing have in common because people ask me a lot of questions about skiing and they also ask me why I ski, and the reasons that I ski also have to do with some of what I do for clients. So, of course, you might wonder how they guide me to actually ski. So what I do is there are volunteers and ski guides and ski instructors, and to enable me to stay safe as a blind skier, they call out directions or we use a pole that we all hold on to. So it might be one person or it might be two people holding onto the pole with me and I'm in the middle. So the way that works is that I work with them. I have to trust their guidance, but I also have to direct and see how far I want to go, what my goals are, those sorts of issues. So in the same way, I help clients because I work with them on their goals. I can advise them on what to do, and at the same time, it's about what it is that they're looking for, what their goals, their direction. I guide my clients. I uncover hidden stories and opportunities that we can explore together. And sometimes it's difficult to follow through on that decision. They might be afraid to do it, overwhelmed. I can guide them through the process. And then when we hit bumps in the road, we get up, we keep going, we reassess and say, okay, this is what happened. So in the same way, when I'm skiing, when I fall, I don't just stop. I don't say, okay, I'm quitting for the day, I fell. No, we manage to get up. And sometimes it's a difficult sort of process. Okay, the ski came off. Okay, we got to get it back on, that whole thing. Or maybe if you skied, you might have experienced that. And so it's all about that getting up, moving on, keep going. And so the other side of it is trusting in the process. So you may not necessarily trust every moment, but you trust in the process that things are going to ultimately work out, that I have to trust ski guides and other trained volunteers because they follow processes that I believe in that guide blind and visually impaired people safely. And those processes came from the rich experiences of blind and visually impaired people who skied in the past. And their ski instructors, their sighted guides, all those folks who came before created those guiding methods, and the guiding methods also improve over time. So because I got to meet successful blind skiers and their instructors, I knew there was a way. And that's why I had enough trust to try to ski in the first place. So, content marketing and PR practices also originate with experts, and they're improved upon by experts. The experiences of marketers, of public relations professionals in a changing industry, a changing world, they make a difference. And so my fellow marketers and I can show you the way because we're building upon previous successes. And we're learning from setbacks, both our own setbacks and also those of that came before us, or setbacks of our colleagues. We're reading up on the industry. And ski instructors and ski guides have to do the same thing. especially for blind people, they go back and they kind of talk around the water cooler. Oh, what happened today? Oh, how can we help this person the next time? How can we motivate this person? How can we control their speed, help them control their speed, or how can we help them make better turns, or whatever it is they're discussing. And so they really, as ski guides and as instructors, they position me for success because they're carefully choosing their positions on the slope, and they're carefully figuring out what it is that we're going to do. Because it's up to the instructor to do that, to be able to help an inexperienced person to accomplish their goals. And also help to set realistic expectations. So some people, when they ski, they kind of start out like, oh yeah, I'm going to go race and I'm going to go do this and that right away. And they have to assess the person's skills and see if that makes sense. And hi Raymond, hi Rachel, thanks for tuning in today. Nice to see you on here. And definitely let me know if you need me to fix the camera or anything like that. Because like I said, I was having some issues with Facebook. What else is new? So my ski guides, we're traversing the slope so that we're not skiing too fast. And during blind skiing, what we're doing is basically 2 to 3 people are involved in making sure that I have a wide enough space to maneuver. And if I fall, they are making sure that that it's as safe as possible for me to be able to fall. So our positions make all the difference on the slopes. They literally are positions for success. And just when I work with nonprofits and small businesses doing their writing, doing their PR, I'm also trying to position them for success. So I might be pitching them as a thought leader, as an expert in their field. I might be planning an event. I'm creating buzz for something new that they're launching, or a new service, or maybe they're redefining who they are in the marketplace. I'm positioning them. If I have relationships with reporters, I'm positioning my clients so that we can look at those relationships and take advantage of them. So the other side of it, taking reasonable risks is really important. Clients don't always get coverage when they hire a PR professional, unfortunately. They don't always get qualified leads either, just because they've hired a content writer or a content marketer. They don't always get good leads or a lot of leads, or whatever the case may be. The outcomes aren't always predictable on the ski slopes either. People sometimes do get injured. And that's why I manage client expectations ahead of time. We ask lots of questions. And just when I started skiing, and even today, I definitely have asked a lot of questions because I'm assessing my risk on the ski slope. And I want to make sure that what I'm doing makes sense, that I'm being guided properly, that I want to build trust with them in the same way that my clients build trust with me. They'll ask me questions about return on investment. They'll ask me questions about my experience, and I'll ask them questions about their business and their goals, because together we're working to maximize their results and manage any sort of risk of failure, that we can get right back up and try again. And everyone benefits when the risks and benefits are clear. If you don't know what you're getting yourself into, If somebody tries to gloss over whatever the risks are, or it really doesn't benefit either you or them, because it ultimately comes back. And I always want to make sure that I have clients that are as satisfied as possible. Now, of course, your definition of what a reasonable risk is might change over time. And mine definitely has. I didn't think skiing as a blind person was a reasonable risk either. As many people are like, what are you, crazy? You're skiing? You're blind? Oh my God. But what they don't realize is all of that goes into it, the planning on the guide's part, the way that we are working together. And so leading to that, like we were talking about recovering from setbacks, it's all about learning from setbacks, learning from other people's mistakes, but also learning from my own. I hate bad news, and debriefing clients after any sort of setback is definitely tough when I've made a mistake. On the ski slopes, I've definitely seen skiers get injured and then analyze what went wrong. And of course, if I've fallen loads of times, so there is a certain amount of figuring out what went wrong too, or just continuing on. And in both situations, the successful rebounds happen when everyone involved can learn from the mistakes and any other factors that contributed to whatever results they got. So I am definitely a beginner at skiing, seriously. Even though I've been going skiing every year, I am still very much a beginner. I have tons to learn, even on that bunny slope. And when I feel unsure, I always go back and try again, want to make sure I understand the situation and reestablish trust with my ski guides if for some reason I've lost that, or if I'm feeling insecure. And even though I'm not a novice at copywriting or public relations, I keep educating myself and growing as a professional, because there are lots of more seasoned professionals than me. And then also, even as I become what you might call a seasoned professional or an expert, I believe that there's still always something to learn. And I'm going a bit longer today because I want to make sure that people have time to tune in, because I started this blind skiing and marketing live, and I'm going to put the blog post that you can read the blog post as well. And the most, what I really remember the most, the peak experience, is the idea of having the freedom to face my fears. And that's been so important to me on the ski slope. So thanks everyone for tuning in today. If you like what you see, I'm live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, with tips, tricks on getting noticed and being creative. And you can also check out my Wise Words That Matter webinar, which you can find at wisewordsthatmatter.com/webinar. And so thank you so much, everyone. I'm looking forward to hearing any sort of questions or comment that you might have. And I'll see you next week.